Hi, everybody. Welcome to Tiki Talk Friday. Colleen O'Neil here with my friend Jenn Scheffer. And today's Tiki Talk on this beautiful fall Friday afternoon, right?
Getting a little chilly though, Col.
It is,
Woo.
right? Woo.
Jackets are coming soon. We're not moving inside.
No, so we're going to speed through this one because we're chilly. No, we wanted to talk today, we thought, about romance and intimacy, or romance versus intimacy. Like, are they the same? What's the difference? What are your thoughts?
So I think romance is part of the getting to know you phase. I love the idea of learning about someone. And I know you and I have had this conversation before about the whole online dating versus in-person dating. And the big thing that I missed during COVID is you can't go out and meet someone intrinsically. I don't like the idea of online dating. I know it works for a lot of people, but it's not for me. I'm a career salesperson. I have to be in front of people. I love getting to know someone that way. So intimacy for me comes after the romance part, because I want to get to know you. I want to know what you're about. I want to know what makes you tick. I want to know what your little nuances are. I want to know what's your favorite color so that I can wear it. I want to do all of those things so that I can build on the intimacy before we get naked. Your thoughts?
And that's all in the first hour.
Are you saying I'm easy? Not nice.
She's just fun. You know, the intimacy word, which I heard the other day, and I've heard it before, but it was or someone reminded me of it the other day. Intimacy means into me, see me. Like, right? So see me.
Gotcha.
Right? And
gotcha.
So as romance to me is more about the physicality of making a beautiful space. But intimacy is about really seeing into me, like who I am, what's important to me, what makes me tick, what makes me cry, what do I need. Like I was in your house earlier and I said, oh, I need someone to nurture me, right? Because sometimes you need that, but wouldn't it be nice for your partner to come and just give you a hug because they sense that you need that?
So
that's intimate. Although there's sexual intimacy, which is a whole different
level.
I went. Well, yes, but that's a whole different level. Where if you don't have that other emotional see me intimacy, then it's hard for me to feel sexually intimate.
Yeah, I gotcha. That makes complete sense.
You know, it can be sexually aroused, but doesn't necessarily intimacy.
Right.
You know,
that's true.
But romance doesn't have to lead to intimacy, but romance can enhance,
I think,
sexual
of romance
connection. Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Just little clues.
So if you watched our other
Tiki
Talk, where we had one about dating and consent. So, which obviously for me would take out that intimacy or that romance. For sure. But I do think there's something very, you need romance. And I think men need romance.
Oh yeah. I think they're more needy than we are, in all honesty. I think that they have a greater desire to be hugged, be held, be loved, be doted on than we do. I think that part of it is, speaking for myself, I don't have a lot of time. So if I can give you 45 minutes of my time, that's valuable to me. And I feel that I have to accomplish a lot in those 45 minutes with you. And I don't care if it's a meal. Like, I know my time is limited. I think that men have a much different perspective because they more traditionally are busy during a normal course of a day, as opposed to disjointed like most women are, doing many, many things. And when they're done, they're ready for the next phase, and they can give uninterrupted attention to that next phase. I find that with myself, I'm always, all right, I've got this going on, and this is where everything fits in my day. And I don't feel that I give the same level of attention to maybe be as observant as I should be.
Right. No, that makes sense. You know what I'm thinking as you're speaking? I'm thinking like, if that's your mind frame, which I think it is for a lot of women, is that multitasking and actually wearing that as a badge of honor, which I don't think is actually a really good thing, but that's actually a whole nother Tiki talk, multitasking.
Write it down.
Right? We're going to forget it. But I'm thinking that if I was in a relationship with you and I felt like you were just checking the box with me, that sucks. Like as the guy in your life or the person in your life, that would suck because you don't want it. That's not even romantic. Like even me, like if you gave me 45 minutes because it's check, then that's to me just quick sex.
It doesn't have to be though.
And that's fine too.
But it doesn't have to be sex. Like that's
it
where
could be watching a show,
that's
talking.
what I have for you today. You know, that's where as a single mom working multiple jobs, that's what I have for you today is a very limited time frame. You can very well say that doesn't work for me. I need more from you. And I would understand.
Sure.
But I feel like, you know, myself, I have to compress so many things into just as many hours as I get. And I can't give the proper level of attention all the time.
But see, it would be very intimate if you could give the conversation. So if I'm your partner and I said, well, you know, that 45 minutes, that's really hard for me. And you actually sat and listened and validated, that can be really intimate.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can have intimacy on a limited schedule.
Yeah. Well, I think there's that emotional intimacy. But I have realized I think men need a lot of praise. Oh, just a lot of stroking. The ego, don't even go there, people. I know my friend. Right? So that's an appropriate word for the ego or for other body parts, if you will, too. I mean, it's right, but it's important. I think that
they need to be validated. They need to feel important. They still, for some reason, want that damsel in distress. Not all the time, but once in a while, it's the honey. I really need you to help me, or I can't reach this, even if you can.
Can you open that jar?
Right. You know this. It's too. Would you mind? Would you mind? I have no gas, and I've got a busy day tomorrow. Can you go to the store for me? Like I am not good at that, but anytime, and I was told I'm not good at that. And I'm trying to be better about it. But I still have a challenge with the asking because for so many years I just did. And to my detriment, I did.
Yeah, because then there's no room for me if I can't help you.
You have no value.
If I can't help you, there's no room for me. What do we have? Unless we have something else that's amazing and you're just completely off doing your own thing all the time. But typically that's not how that works because people want to feel needed in a relationship. They want to feel like they have value.
Yeah. I mean, I love to cook. You know, I love to cook and I will feed anybody that's hungry. I don't care who you are and I don't care what you like. I'll make it.
Yeah.
I love to cook. And I'm pretty good at it.
Yes, you are.
And my ex said to me, well, after we had split, you know, we're still friendly. And one night he was at the Tiki bar with a bunch of other people. And he said, can I make you dinner? Nothing special, but what do you have? I'm hungry. You know, can I make you dinner? And I said, sure. And like, there was really not a whole lot. I don't know if I hadn't been grocery shopping or whatever. And we just kind of pulled some things out and I let him do it from soup to nuts. And I looked at him and I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't let you do this before. And he said, all I ever wanted to do is cook for you. And that was his way. But he also knew, he's like, I want you to teach me how to do this. I want you to show me how to do this, but then I want to do it for you. And I always looked at it as that was my role because, you know, with the kids, this is just what I did.
Right.
And I never realized the importance of that to him.
To be part of your world.
To do for me.
To do for you.
You know, I was not able to say, can you do dinner tonight? I didn't know that was important. Now I do, but I didn't then.
So you've realized we're an area of your life where you need to kind of change that a little bit.
I need to ask for help. I mean, when I was married, my husband really didn't want to have anything to do with anything. So when I had kids, I was responsible for finding staff. That sounds terrible and, you know, nasty, but to find help. Right. With the infants so that I could go back to work 70 hours a week. You know, I mean, these were all, but I also knew that I had to feel comfortable with who this person was. So he basically took a backseat and had no interest in doing anything that was part of the day-to-day operations of the family. And I just brought that with me into the next relationship because I was used to it. and it didn't work for him.
I don't think it would work for most people, because you have to feel like there's a flow, and part of that flow is the intimacy, because you're letting somebody in your world to help you.
Yeah.
And that's very intimate, right? That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Like that makes a statement to your partner.
You have to lose control on some things, and you have to give up control, and you have to be willing for it not to be done your way. And
hands down. Don't ask somebody to do something and then tell them they didn't do it right.
Exactly. So these were all lessons that I had to learn about intimacy, about romance. And, for him, the act of making me dinner and pouring his soul into it was his way of showing romance.
And even if it sucked, it's still the best dinner ever. Right? No, you do, because that's made with love and it's romantic.
I don't like mushrooms. Why are we eating a mushroom dish?
You don't like mushrooms?
I don't like mushrooms.
I hate mushrooms and olives.
Oh my God, me too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I could drink olive oil by the gallon, but don't give me an olive.
No.
Sorry.
No, you'll never see me have a martini with an olive, that's for sure.
No, mine are either chocolate or caramel, so I had a really good one the other night, martini.
Did you?
I was out with a girlfriend. We just hadn't seen each other since before COVID. And we were just like, that's it. We're not doing this anymore. We have had too many plans fall apart, and the two of us went to dinner. And it was
nice.
The first time I had been out to dinner through COVID. Swear to God, the very first time I had been out.
Wow.
And we went to one of these locals, and they had all their special martinis. So we went through the whole list, which was a big mistake.
I think it was just supposed to be one or two, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But so intimacy, I think there's a very big difference between what we were saying, intimacy and romance. So romance, are you romantic?
I think it depends. I can be extremely romantic if I feel I want to build something with you. If I know that I enjoy your company, but not enough to be anything that's going to last for me, I am less romantic. I wouldn't say I'm not at all. I'm less.
Gotcha. I think I'm very romantic if I feel safe with you. Even if I want to build something with you, but I don't feel.
How would you want to build something with someone you're not
because
safe with?
Sometimes you're just stuck on people and you can't explain it, right? Sometimes you just are
the blue
stuck,
eyes.
Right? Right.
It's the blue eyes.
Right. And so you can't explain it, or you hope it's going to get better,
right?
But you're not going to put your whole self out there. So then really nothing.
So which is more important to you, intimacy or romance?
Intimacy.
Really?
Not even sexual intimacy.
Right. Just understanding who you are as a person and what makes you tick.
Just notice me.
Yeah.
Just have my back. Just look at me and, you need a hug today? How are you? But genuinely, like, how are you?
See, and that's very funny, because I would say to my ex all the time, I'm like, I have an expectation that you're going to know that. And he is like, how can I? So I think that's very interesting. I was like, you should just know when I'm having a bad day. And he's like, when I'm having a bad day, I want a hug. I want to be touched. When I'm having a bad day, I want to spin like the Tasmanian devil, and I need to just have runway to do it. So what worked for him didn't work for me.
But if you had spoken it instead of these inherent assumptions,
right? And I think
about where somebody is at, but then if you don't have a partner who wants to speak, you're screwed.
Or like you said, I want you to notice me. I want you to notice what makes me. Is that the same as expecting them to know?
Notice me can be a question. How are you? You look like
you're stressed.
You're stressed. Or
gotcha.
I feel like you're withdrawing. Like, that's noticing somebody. And that person can say, no, I'm not. I'm fine. Or I just need some space. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I don't need you to do anything. I just need for me, intimacy is the engagement.
Gotcha.
I don't want assumptions.
Yeah.
What that saying is, assumptions make an ass out of you and me. And they do.
Yeah.
Like, because
I try not to use that word because
we're wrong most of the time.
Yes.
Our assumptions are wrong most of the time.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
No, expectations, I think, play a great role in assumptions, because you have that expectation that your partner is going to be what you want them to be, simply because maybe you've said it once, but you haven't said it in this particular set of circumstances.
Yeah. Like, I was talking to my girlfriend last night, and she said, well, she was talking about dating this guy, and I said, well, how do you know, what have you done to let him know you're interested? And she said, well, if he calls, then I'll know he's interested. And I'm like, no, I said, what did you do to let him know?
It's a mutual
like, you
thing.
have to speak.
Yeah.
People.
Make the effort. Make the effort.
Be honest.
Yeah. Well,
be honest.
I think that's still hard for a lot of people. I think also people these days are extremely guarded for a number of reasons. Oh my God. And that has a great deal to do with the way that we react to others and or create or don't create intimacy.
Yes, but this is where I get, I don't have like a big bandwidth. I'm like, you can't sit in your story. Like
I like that. I like that phrase. You can't sit in your story. That's a great thing to write down.
You can't.
Put it on your mirror.
You can't. It is part of you. No one's going to ever take it away. I'm never going to take away that your ex hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to do that. That happened. I want to honor it, but I don't want to be part of that story. I want my own story with you. Don't make me pay for somebody else's sins, so to speak, right? I mean, I think that's a biblical thing, right? The children shouldn't pay for the sins of the father or something like that. But well, that's right, you're Jewish.
I don't know that book.
Well, it's out there. But that's the whole thing, though. I don't want to pay for somebody else hurting you. I want you to honor your hurt. I want to support you in your hurt. But if you don't speak to me, I can't. All I'm going to do is create more hurt for you.
I think that's a great way to end, Colleen, to not sit in your story.
All right, people. Enjoy romance. Learn to be more intimate. You got to trust.
That's not just sex.
No, it's really not. It's a bigger part of it. That's like the icing on the cake when you.
Hopefully.
Yeah, good icing.
Hopefully.
Yeah. We're going to leave the icing right there. All right, guys. We'll see you next Friday on Tiki Talk with Jenn and Colleen. Thanks so much, everybody.